Welcome back, WNST, Towson, Baltimore, and Baltimore Positive. Keeping calm, I'm staying local, and I'm even shaving up and putting a shirt on once and again, especially for clients and friends of ours this week. I did the bum sweatshirt thing. I even subjected Luke to that on Monday morning after a weekend of, pizza from Pizza John's, wings from Royal Farms, crab cakes from Al's, crab soup from Costas, and that spinach stuff that Pete makes over there. But I'm back up to shaving and getting dressed up for clients. They are always there. She is State Farm, and we got to know her right before everything got shut down. We talked about having that second beer together. We talked about having some of the ahi tuna together in Canton, and then the world got shut down 6 weeks ago. Mamie Brown joins us back. I have her koozie that she gave me the night that the ESPN State Farm bus rolled from Canton to College Park, and then basketball stopped. But I do have the koozie here, and Mimi's still writing insurance and doing stuff, and State Farm's doing stuff, and I've been following you on Facebook. You're washing your hands and you're staying sequestered in quarantine. What more can you do as an insurance agent, right?
Exactly. A lot of talking to clients over the phone, texting, emailing, just nothing in person, which is crazy how much energy I think I used to get off of just being around people.
Has anybody gotten a car accident? Because my friends Todd Schuler and Mark Miller, they are injury lawyer folks, right? And I said to them, is anybody driving around? They're like, well, we have to be here in case they are. And I'm thinking, well, I look out the window and there are definitely cars moving around. So if cars are moving, I'm assuming things can still happen with auto insurance that your phone's ringing I guess it normally would to some degree, right?
It's slowed down a little, but that's actually also given us the chance to reach out to everyone, all of our customers, just to check in on them and simply ask how they are. So going back to the root of what State Farm's about and being a good neighbor, which has been nice.
Well, everybody's got time, right? And I know for me, and this is honest to God truth, and I talked to Lou Weinkamp about this, I have an estate issue. My mom died 2.5 years ago. It's not that I've been lazy about it. It's just been the phone number at the state was disconnected. I don't have an email. I don't have the day to go get in the car and drive down to Annapolis. I already did a day in Towson. And I'm if I come out of this thing and I don't have that cleared up, my insurance cleared up, anything that's sort of dangling out there, this is the time to sort of get that little strong box in your house and figure it all out. And I would think insurance would be one of those things where people are at least adding it up and saying, could I save money? Do I need more insurance? What's my deductible? All of this sort of report card checklist stuff, right? Because you really do have time on everyone has a little extra time right now because they're not watching the ball game. They're not going out to dinner. They're not doing the things they usually do, right?
Correct. Yeah, it's definitely given, especially on the auto insurance side, it has given people a lot to think about am I properly insured, but also what discounts do I have? So huge thing State Farm announced back in a few weeks ago, we're actually returning over $2 billion to our policyholders, which is huge.
That's a B, right? That's a B, $2 billion?
It's a B.
Okay,
yeah,
that's a big one.
Number.
Well, this is car insurance, and I see all the headlines. I saw all the headlines about a week and a half ago, trying to understand what it means to a State Farm person that it wouldn't mean to, let's say, one of your competitors with a gecko or something,
Yeah, we don't like that gecko.
I don't either, by the way, so.
For our policyholders specifically, Maryland, we're actually giving back 30% of any premiums that were paid from March 20th to May 31st right now.
So that's 2 months or 70 days, give or take, right?
Yeah, a little bit over 70 days. And we'll see. I think if this continues, we may even change down the road. But for right now, it's March 20th to May 31st, which adds up to a lot for our policyholders. And just making sure that we're going through that with them, because right now, some people, obviously, things are changing. People aren't on the roads. People aren't driving to work. So making sure that we are able to be there.
I am driving 30% less. I can promise you that, Mimi. At least 30% less. And I'm even walking around with my mask on 30% less. I think I'm doing 30% less eating, quite frankly, which is why I'm losing weight. I'm the only human being losing weight during this thing. I haven't been able to figure that out. So this slash in the premiums, is that like a rebate? Let's say I'll make this up. I'm $200 a month. You're saving me $60 a month, which is 30%. After 2 months, I got $120. Is that a credit that goes to July, or is that like a check that comes back? How does that work?
So in the past, State Farm has given out dividend checks. The issue is that a lot of those don't get cashed. So we're actually putting it right on their June bill.
Okay.
So they'll see it before July, which is nice.
Well, it's better than like, the Applebee's card that somebody gave me 10 years ago I never used, right? The gift card.
Right, exactly.
Well, yeah, we're all aware of that. Mamie Brown joining us here. She's from State Farm. She is in Canton. She got in touch with us a couple months ago. We got in touch with her, and they had the big party bus, and then the world stopped. So for you, your world has stopped. And pardon me, but like we're Facebook friends now, and I know, you're young and beautiful and working out and all that, and I saw you Peloton, and it said you were working out in New York, and I like literally thought you must have had some emergency. I'm thinking, man, must have really been something to take her to New York, and I'm thinking, everybody's working out virtually, I got my Planet Fitness people coming on this week. They're doing a thing at 7 o'clock every night. We're honoring nurses every night. Give me a little Canton experience, because I know you haven't left Canton. I guess my point was, I woke up thinking, what's Mimi doing in New York? And you're like, I'm not in New York. It's just what they say when you check in, And I'm like, oh, yeah, I guess the whole world's checking in there. But so life in Canton for you, give me like 6 weeks of pandemic, because I think this time has marked everyone's life in some sort of weird way. Like the time I left you, you were like hugging your sister, hanging out. And I'm thinking, oh, you can't hug your sister and I can't fist bump my son. And I went over and visited him for the first time in 6 weeks. And we all like waved at each other from across the fence, kind of like when I had scarlet fever when I was 12. It's weird.
It is weird. I will say it's been one thing that I've been doing more of is going out for just a walk in the evening. And the craziest thing is the square this time. It's dead. So
people have their dogs out. Like when I go out at 5:30, my wife gets off. We go out, and it's just nice to see people's dogs. They're not wearing masks. All the rest of us are, So it's
Exactly. But I will say a lot of the bars and restaurants around here are open. So I would recommend people stay on the lookout. I think we're going to be handing out more of our koozies at some specials at some of the bars around.
Let me know when you do that, and I'll drive by. You can throw one to me from 6.5 feet away, Hey, you laugh, but I saw Seattle opened over the weekend, and we're missing the farmer's market on Sunday, right? I mean, we're missing, and I'm thinking the farmer's market people that sold me all the good stuff, they're missing me too. And I kind of want to give, the Bartenfelder folks my $5 and pick up my corn at the farmer's market and see the guy who grows my lettuce over across the Chesapeake Bay, over on the Eastern Shore. And what I've seen them doing, though, they've opened a market in Seattle where you drive through and you can place online, and they would have a bag with your apples or whatever you're buying. And I'm thinking to myself, how are we going to come out of this? I'm seeing what they're doing in Asia, and I have friends in Italy that are in Spain, opened a little bit earlier in the week. And on a political front, you can read my politics all over the web. I mean, I'll get on to that. But at some point, we are going to open, and it's going to be a little weird when we open, right? I mean, and I think we're all wondering how this is going to go. And I hope I get to come by and honk the horn and have you throw a koozie at me, even if you're wearing a mask. I want a summer koozie,
Right. I think it will be interesting. Just trying to look at it too as a growth mindset of how can we adapt quickly to this, because small business is, especially in the U.S., 45% of employers, and just want to make sure that we do support local. So figuring out how that happens.
I'm all about
Hoping it happens sooner than later.
I was eating local ice cream with the Harka the other night. I'm having nothing but local business owners on in the same way, just trying to support Verde up in your neighborhood and grab a pizza from them, once a month, and support my friends out in Catonsville at Franco's and get a pizza from them once a month. But part of it for me is trying not to drive, right? So on Saturday, we went out one time. First time I see my son in 6 weeks. We did the whole East Baltimore thing. I honked the horn at G&A, at Andy in Highlandtown. And then I went to Essex, and I saw Pizza John's, and I saw Chatted House. And then I went to see King Discount Liquors because, it's a liquor store and it's essential. I mean, you got to make a stop. And then I went down to Costas and I got some crab soup. But, part of it is just trying to stay in, but trying to support the places that you want to support. I've been promoting Amici's. I haven't been over to get my meatballs in about a month. And I'm thinking, hey, if I want the meatballs to be there a month from now, I got to support them now. And that's kind of how I'm looking at my $20, $30, $40 over dinner, over going out, is I need to support these places with more than just giving them airtime, because I need them to be there again in June, July, and August. The only way that's going to happen is for us to support them. No doubt about it.
100%, I agree. Yeah, I think I've ate out more, but like you, because I don't cook and I'm not a baker, I think I'm losing weight as well.
Oh, I cook,
So I guess
man.
not
Oh, I
baking
got
is a
spice
good
rack
thing.
like you wouldn't believe. Some of us aren't on the Peloton all morning, getting in shape on the World Wide Web. Mamie Brown can be found. Let me hold her koozie up here one more time. She is State Farm. She's over in Canton, 410-878-0232. She'll pick up the phone and take you via email, Mimi at insuringbmore.com. I'm reading right. I have my water from Liberty Pure here as well, but I have my koozie and it fits perfectly. I was hoping like the koozie, koozies are great for like tailgating, for concerts, for outdoors, for like the Canton Thursday night thing that everybody gets together and we all go down there and drink and do that thing. But koozies are like a spring summer thing, so I really do hope that I get to get out and use the koozie a little bit, especially now that we're getting up into the upper 60s. And maybe I'll meet you halfway. We'll meet like in Fells Point, and we'll stay 6.5 feet away and virtually high five each other or something like that. What do you think?
That sounds like a good plan.
I got to get a mask that has like a
You
message
can
on it. Yeah, give me a State Farm mask. That's what I need. I could be a good neighbor. How about that?
We need like a mask with somehow you can have a straw in it maybe so you can still enjoy your drink.
So my wife and I went to the Indian grocer on Route 40, about 5 doors down from King Liquors. My son sent me over there, and we love tikka masala and palak paneer and stuff. And I'm like, I'm going to stop in there, put our mask on. We came out, and my wife was driving. We had the gloves on the whole. She didn't touch anything in the store because she's had cancer twice. It's really the first time she went out was this weekend to do anything at all. And we went to go into King Discount Liquors, and I tugged on my mask, and my mask broke. And now I'm like, all right, I'm in the parking lot, and like the little cord on the mask broke around the ear. And she's like MacGyver, you know what I mean? She like pulled a stapler out, or I don't know how, but she tied it all up, and she's like, look, it'll work. Don't talk to anybody. Just get the wine, get the liquor, get the beer, get out of there, So I went in, and so, I mean, I'm just giving people a warning. Masks break. Have a backup plan. I'm just giving it to you. Do you have to have insurance for your mask? There you go, Mimi. That's how I work the segue.
I think it's because I'm a risk advisor. I have 3 in my car right now, just in case something happens.
You know what? I look like an axe murderer. I have like rubber gloves all over the front seat that I've pulled off. My car's full of gloves, man. Probably cost me more in insurance for it. But if I get 30% back with you. Mimi Brown is here, 410-878-0232. Any parting shots for anybody? I know, we're kind of all in this thing together, and you're sort of the first line of defense. It's like you said to me a month ago when this thing started. You're like, I'm an insurance agent. We do crisis management. It's kind of like it's the business we're in. Everybody that calls us has a problem, right? Literally.
Exactly, yeah. We get to talk to everyone for anything that could go wrong, which is nice.
Well, stay
It's nice
calm.
to be able to help people.
Stay calm. Don't break your mask. Have a backup mask. I mean, good insurance agent has 3 masks. That's what I want to hear. Maybe take care of yourself, and at some point we'll start playing sports again. You got anything you want to say about the draft, or no? You're done with the draft?
I'm done with the draft. I should have paid more attention, but I was excited about the Ravens.
Well, at least you're watching Michael Jordan, and I'm not.
About.
I did not watch Michael Jordan. Here's the thing. For like a guy my age, I watched it all. You know what I mean? I watched him win. I watched it every year. I watched every play. I don't need to see him beat the Knicks again. I know what happened.
Right.
So that's where I am. But for, if you want some of the dirt, you liked it, right? A little background, little worm, the whole deal, right?
Yeah. It was good to see the behind the scenes because I feel like I forget about, management and everything else that goes into a team. So it was interesting to see players' perspective and then management perspective.
All I keep thinking is it's a good thing Dennis Rodman didn't have Twitter back then.
Yeah.
It would have been a bad thing. Mimi, take care of yourself. Stay calm. I know you're calm because you're an insurance agent. 410-878-0232. You can find my friend. I pulled the koozie off, Mimi Brown, Mimi at insuringbmore.com. They're there for you like a good neighbor. Appreciate you, Mimi. Take care. Stay safe. Wash your hands, all right?
Thank you.
I give everybody the same advice, even though I scrubbed up, not just for Mimi, just for like all the guests this week. We have an incredible Baltimore positive, I'm not pointing at the wrong, Baltimore positive sort of outlook on things here this week because we're bringing in all of the education leaders here. So leaders at CCBC, University of Maryland, Jay Pearman's going to be here. We're going to have Dr. David Wilson from Morgan State will be joining us. Returning champion, Dr. Freeman Rabowski from UMBC. Kim Schatzel from Towson is going to be joining us. And for the very first time, and I'm really, really excited about this, I'm going to talk legal marijuana with Kurt Schmoke, who was the first ever mayor to talk about legalized weed 35 years ago. And he's now the president of my alma mater at University of Baltimore, where I do not donate because of Peter Giangelo's. But I am really, really looking forward to talking to Kurt Schmoke for only the second time in my life and only the first time on the radio. I ran into him at Maritime Magic in Fells Point. Talking about meeting Mimi. Probably could meet her right at the Living Classrooms Foundation building. It'd probably be halfway. Right on the water. There'd be a breeze and a great view of the Domino sign. But I saw Kurt Schmoke there about 5 years ago at Maritime Magic, and I fist bumped him, and I told him I thought he was cool, and I'd love to have him on the show. And, of course, he agreed to come on the show. And, of course, I never called him. And then Don Moeller booked it. By the way, this week we are celebrating 200 episodes of Baltimore Positive. So Don Moeller's going to be a part of that. We're cutting that later in the week, too. Lots of great guests, lots of football stuff, lots of post-draft stuff. Eric Edholm, Lance Zierlein, lots of local friends and sponsors. My pal Chad at Al Seafood in Essex doing something for Susan P. Komen this weekend for cancer. So a lot of pink going on over at Al Seafood in Essex. I want to give a shout out there. Dr. Steve Elliott, Greg Cangelosi going to be here. Rob Santoni from Wise Markets is going to be here this week as well. Teddy Savage from Planet Fitness talking about working out every night at 7 o'clock. Getting in Mimi Brown shape. You know what I'm talking about. And we're also going to talk about the future of cities with a guy that I met at Fadley's in Lexington Market about 3 months ago before the pandemic. He is from Calgary, Alberta, and he studies the future of cities. Nothing more Baltimore positive than that. I am Nestor. Nasty at WNST.net reaches me. If you have any criticism of my suit or my dress today or my freedom patch, I'm leaving a freedom patch in here for everybody. Throw me an email, nasty at WNST.net. We are at WNST.net AM 1570. We used to do sports. There are no more sports to do, but when they do sports, we do sports, which is why we did draft. We're keeping calm. We're staying local. From Canton to downtown and all around, we are Baltimore Positive.